Tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself. 99% of the job interviews, they start with this question. Though this question seems to be very simple, but if you really don't have the practice of it, if you don't have expertise over how to introduce yourself, you are in a big trouble. Hi everyone, I am Ali Gohar Maesar, an English teacher and a motivational speaker and a career counselor. In this video clip, we are going to discuss how to introduce yourself in an interview, in a job interview. So first of all, let us start with why the interview panel, why the interviewers, they put this question. So the answer to this question is that first of all, they want to know about you, about yourself in your own words. They want to check your verbal communication, first of all. And secondly, they want to start off conversation with this topic. Usually they think about the conversation, they start the conversation with this topic. And thirdly, they want to break the nervousness that you bring with yourself in the room. And fourthly, they want to know how you behave or what is your attitude towards them in an interview. So these are the 4 points which are the basis of this question, which actually make the ground for the interview panel to ask this question. Now let us try and solve the riddle. That tell us about yourself, introduce yourself, how to answer this question in an interview. The first of all, there are certain tips to it. The very first step is to thank them. So all you need to do is to just say them that thank you sir for providing me an opportunity to introduce myself before you. So this is how you start thanking, by giving them a note of thanks. And secondly, the second step is then tell your name. What happens actually that most of the students, they start telling their name with myself, Ali Gohar Maesar. Hi, this is Ali Gohar Maesar. This is absolutely wrong. All you need to do is to start your full name. Start telling them your full name. You can simply say, I am Ali Gohar Maesar. My name is Ali Gohar Maesar. This is how you start your name. So the third tip or the third step is then tell them about your native place. Now, interestingly, what happens that people start talking about their native village, their native place, native town, and then the district, tehsil, taluka, etc. You are not supposed to tell them every single minutest detail that you want to tell about your native place. All you need to do is to just tell the name of your native village. Like I am from Darbelo, and along with this, add an interesting fact about your native place. For example, we can say, I am from Darbelo, the famous place for Alhamdulillah Shah, who was one of the greatest eminent philosopher, eminent literary figure of my area. Therefore, all you need to just tell them the name of your native place plus some interesting fact about your native place. Then moving ahead, the fourth step is tell them about your educational background, academic background. Now the academic background is not about starting from the start or beginning from the first class to the last class. All you need to do is to just tell them about the names, about the 2 most recent degrees that you have attained. So last 2 degrees, if you are going to appear in an interview on the graduation basis, all you need to tell them about your higher secondary education and your graduation degree like education. So you need to tell them about your 2 last degrees. For example, and if you are going to appear in an interview after having your post-graduation completed, you can tell them about your graduation degree as well as your post-graduation degree. Like you can state like this, I have done my bachelor's, I have completed my graduation from University of Sindh Jamshoro. You can simply say, I have completed my master's in English literature, whichever subject you can add, from University of Sindh, Jamshoro. This is how you tell about your last 2 degrees and your academic qualification. And one thing more, if you have attained distinguished marks, if you have attained, if you have got certain distinction from the rest of your fellow candidates, you can mention them as well in your degree. And now the fifth one is now like your experience. And again, you are not supposed to tell them every single experience that you have got in any sort of organization or in an academy. So all you need to do is just tell them your first experience in your work field, in your background, your first experience from where you started your journey as a career, and then the last one, the recent one, the last one which you are currently having, you have just had when you appeared in this interview. So two of the finest experiences. The first one, you should tell them about your first experience with the name of the organization or company you worked with, and your last one, the currently you are having an experience, or you're having your services where to which company. So these are the two experiences you need to share with them. Now the sixth one is about your hobbies. Now all you need to you are supposed to tell them about your hobbies which are very constructive. For example, the hobbies which are very interesting. You need to create sort of interest amongst the interview panels for you. Why should they hire you? Why should they hire a person having very strange, very weird sort of hobbies? So tell them very constructive, very positive hobbies. You can say I like cycling, I love book reading, but you can tell them in a style that in the early morning I just go away on my cycle and visit the country life and the sceneries or the background of the rural culture and the rural centers. So this is going to put some certain positive impression on them. And the second, I have whatever the new books with regard to my interest are available in market. I just go in the shops and I just start searching, and once I found my book of my interest, then I start reading it with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of craze. So this is how you tell them in a very better manner, in a best possible manner. And now the eighth one is about your future plannings, about your aim in life. About your aim in life, you can also address them, because you have you are in an interview and you are going to create their interest in you. So you can tell them about the job you have applied recently, and you are in an interview that I want to see myself as a manager in this company, blah blah company. You can also tell them about your next 10 to 8 years, where do you see yourself. For example, my future plannings are to be the manager at blah blah company, at certain company. I want to be the leader of the blah blah company or certain company. So this is how you introduce yourself before the interview panel in an interview, and this is the formal way of introducing yourself in an interview. Thanks for watching.